So to give an update on the main section of our garden here, after doing the reseeding and a lot of weeding in this area, you can see that we got a lot of endive that popped up, so that was a success. Our peas are doing awesome. They're vining out, getting super tall. They grew about at least 6 inches in the last week and a half. And over here in the back, we still had 2 sections that didn't end up sprouting. We just got weeds coming up, some clovers and stuff. In this section right here, the only thing that happened to grow was a wild squash here. So not a complete failure, but not something that we intended to be in this little section here. And then gonna keep walking along here. We got another wild lettuce that's coming up in this bucket. Not something that we intentionally planted, so hopefully that gets big and we can transplant that into the main garden as well. These buckets and troughs did not end up working, and originally I thought that it might have been due to the weather or the time of year that we planted, but after coming out here at around midnight, 1 a.m. a couple times, we realized that these sections were inundated with snails. So we're now thinking that snails could easily traverse over these little walls here and pretty much eat anything that might have came sprouting up. What we've been trying to do is relocate any snails that we can find. Unfortunately, use them as food for some of our more carnivorous tortoises and turtles. But yeah, just wanted to be pretty honest with you guys and let you know what works and what doesn't work. And unfortunately, these troughs and buckets were not a success this year. On the other hand, the radishes are doing great. As I said, we relocated a ton of snails that we found out here, so we're no longer getting the leaves all chewed up and radishes all chewed up. They're all doing real good. We already did 1 harvest, and we're giving these little guys a time to grow a little bit too so that they can get as big as the last batch. And then that'll probably be it for the radishes this season. We're still trying to figure out what we're gonna plant here. We ordered a whole bunch of sunflowers to probably put in this section. If not here, then maybe up in the front yard somewhere. We still haven't decided, but once these radishes come out, we're definitely gonna use this area for something else. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Pepper plants still haven't bounced back yet from the frost that we had earlier this year. To be fair, we have had these pepper plants for at least 4 years, and they're usually only supposed to last about a year, so they way exceeded our expectations in that respect. I'm just hoping that they're able to bounce back and give us 1 more year full of peppers. If not, then they did a good job for quite a few years. All of the squash, or almost all of the squash seeds that we planted, did have some squash come up, so we're real happy about that. This was one of our other buckets, and we do have some stuff growing in here. I'm just not sure whether it's lettuce or not. We did plant lettuce seeds in here, and to me personally, I'm not sure if those sprouts look like lettuce. I'm thinking that they're quite possibly just weeds of some kind that found their way in here. We got this interesting guy right here. Kind of looks like a bean or maybe potentially a squash, I'm not quite sure, but we decided just to keep the buckets here because we could put the little turtles in here sometimes to graze on these weeds or something if we wanted to use this for something else. But yeah, it doesn't look like our lettuce decided to work over here in this bucket. This was the other more shallow one that we tried using, again for lettuce. Doesn't look like it did anything. We suspect that the snails probably got to this too. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. And this was just an experiment to see whether we could get it to work. Now we know for next year that the bucket approach is probably not the way to go. Guest appearance from our baby tortoises. They want to be famous on YouTube. So of the reseeding, definitely the endive did the best. Squash was second best. Not so much for our other greens that we tried to put in the center section here, but it may end up being better that they didn't sprout because now we actually have a lot of room that we can walk in here and harvest the endive and not have to worry about smashing anything else while we're walking in here.